Hello to all of our secondary families. I'm Hal Hurd, Director of High School Education. Myself, along with Mr. Anthony Ruella, Executive Director of Middle Schools Data and School Improvement, are here today to provide information to families regarding the hybrid models for the secondary level, as you will be receiving a survey to share your feedback on the models. The district administration was charged with creating a new hybrid model that addressed physical distancing of 6 feet where feasible. Subcommittees were formed at all 3 levels: elementary, middle, and high school. The secondary hybrid schedule subcommittees at the middle school and high school level have worked collaboratively, as any secondary schedule impacts both levels a little differently. These subcommittees both have district level and building level administration and instructional representation, along with consultation from district nurses and transportation services. The purpose of these committees was to explore and develop hybrid models that reintroduce students back to an in-person learning while incorporating physical distancing where feasible, while providing the best instructional experience for students as we work towards a return to in-person learning. The work of the secondary hybrid schedule subcommittees is guided by the values and principles outlined in the district's mission, vision, and belief statements, as well as a focus on balancing the expectations of the Michigan Roadmap, the demands of our rigorous curriculum, impact on students and staff, impact on the instructional delivery, and the complexities of the secondary schedule. Our subcommittee work began on September 15th. The work of the committee consisted of targeted outreach to other administrators and gathering feedback from teachers, instructional coaches, plant engineers, nurses, office staff and maintenance department, and transportation departments. This work has led to the development of multiple potential hybrid models. The subcommittee will continue their evaluation of the strengths and weaknesses of each model and seek feedback from the following stakeholder groups: staff, students, and families via surveys. We have an aggressive timeline going forward, as the committee will review preliminary survey data and share it with the Board of Education during a board workshop scheduled for October 22nd. We plan to have a recommendation to the Board of Education for October 27th. If approved, the administration will collaborate with transportation and the building instructional design teams to refine implementation plans between October 28th and November 6th to meet a targeted implementation date of November 9th. The committees began their work by exploring the charge that was given and considered a series of guiding questions. What do we know? What do the facts tell us? What are the possibilities? What things do we need to consider? Availability of resources? Barriers to implementation? What impact will it have on those involved? Finally, what are the overall pros and cons? These questions grounded us as we began the work of developing and probing possible hybrid models. For example, our current remote learning reality allows us to shift the start time for high school students and utilizing a block schedule 612. Both of these concepts have been topics of conversation at the secondary level in the most recent past, and this work has provided space for further exploring these ideas in the context of their current impact and how they should or should not be incorporated as we plan for the future. The committees investigated and considered various scheduling models. We explored various full and half-day models and how each might look if utilized in a block schedule or a traditional 6-period day. In addition, we explored what these possibilities might look like if we keep the current start and end times, or what they might look like if we return to the time schedules we had last year. Some of the models were eliminated as viable options based on misalignment with the guiding principles we shared earlier, such as a negative impact on live instructional time, transportation, inability to physically distance.
We have 3 full-day hybrid models remaining for consideration. Models A and B both maintain the current 8 a.m. to 2:10 p.m. block schedule, while returning some students to in-person learning for 2 days a week. Students not returned to in-person learning will remain in remote learning. Model C utilizes our previous daily start and end times and returns all students in grades 6 through 12 to in-person learning 2 days a week. Now, let's look at each model individually. In Model A, the middle school would transition 6th grade students only back to in-person learning. students would be split into two cohorts and would be in person 2 days a week, one day being periods 1, 2, and 3, and the other being periods 4, 5, and 6. For example, if a student was assigned the blue cohort, they would attend in person for their hours 1, 2, and 3 on Monday, and on Tuesday for hours 4, 5, and 6. Wednesday would consist of remote learning, with Thursday and Friday being all asynchronous learning for students in this cohort. In Model A, students in grades 7 and 8 will remain 100% virtual, maintaining their current schedule of morning and afternoon instruction via video conference. In Model A, the high school level begins by bringing back students in the double block and specialized courses. These are courses that require special software or machinery which are difficult to replicate in a remote setting. Students in grades 9 through 12 who are not in these specialized courses will remain 100% virtual. All of our models of in-person learning have strengths and challenges. A strength of Model A is that it is the first step in returning students to in-person instruction, as it brings back students in grades 6 and those in specialized courses at the park. Model A also allows the continued use of the current block schedule in grades 6 through 12. This means that implementing Model A will not cause a change in the schedules of students attending the virtual academy at either the middle school or the high school level. A weakness of Model A is that students in grades 7 and 8 and most students in grades 10, 11, and 12 will not return to in-person learning at this time. In addition, the 6th grade and high school students in specialized courses who do return to in-person learning 2 days per week will also have 2 days a week of independent asynchronous learning time. This will result in less overall live connection time with their classroom teachers. In Model B, the middle school would transition 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students back to in-person learning. Just like in Model A, students would be split into two cohorts and have in-person learning 2 days a week, have Wednesday as a remote learning day, and be completely asynchronous 2 days a week. At the high school level, in addition to bringing back the double block and specialized courses mentioned in Model A, we would transition our 9th grade students to in-person learning using the same two-cohort process as described in the middle school level. In Model B, students in grades 10, 11, and 12 who are not in specialized or double block courses will remain 100% virtual. As stated earlier, the start and end times in Models A and B for grades 6 through 12 would remain 8 a.m. to 2:10 p.m. In looking at the strengths and weaknesses of Model B, we see that Model B brings back students in grades 6 through 9, as well as those in specialized courses at the park. Model B also allows the continued use of the current block schedule with minor adjustments to the order of the afternoon classes for all students in grades 6 through 12, whether they are attending in person, are in Safe Start at PCCS, or are enrolled in the virtual academy. A weakness of Model B is that most students in grades 10, 11, and 12 will not return to in-person learning at this time. Also, similar to Model A, students who are returning to in-person learning 2 days per week will also have 2 days a week of independent asynchronous learning time, again resulting in less overall live connection time with their classroom teachers. Model C has students in grades 6 through 12 returning for in-person learning in the 2-day-a-week cohort model, similar to described in Models A and B. In-person learning will occur on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. As with Models A and B, Wednesday will remain a remote learning day for all students. Because of the numbers of students returning to in-person learning, implementing this model will require individual bus runs for both the middle and high school levels. This will return us to the same leveled start and end times that we had last year. This means that the start and end times in Model C would be 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. for middle school students and 7:10 a.m. to 2:10 p.m. for high school students. A specific daily schedule for Model C will be constructed with an overarching goal of minimizing daily transitions. A strength of Model C is that it returns all students in grades 6 through 12 to in-person learning 2 days a week before the end of the first semester. A weakness of this plan is that we would need to shift from our current start and end times to the same daily start and end times that we had last year. Like all of our hybrid options, students who are returning to in-person learning 2 days a week will also have 2 days a week of independent asynchronous learning time. As a secondary hybrid model committee, we will continue to review the data from our stakeholder feedback surveys and share it with the Board of Education during the October 22nd workshop. We plan to have a recommendation to the Board of Education for the October 27th meeting. If approved, the administration will collaborate with transportation and the building instructional design teams to refine implementation plans between October 28th and November 6th in order to meet the target implementation date of November 9th.